Senior Living Show with Joan and Dr. Bader.
Who wants to go RVing? My next guest does just that. Before we get started, what brought you to Vegas, Jim?
Well, our daughter grew up and lived in Indiana. She went to Indiana University, and she and her friend moved to Southern California. And we only had the one daughter, and my wife told me one day that we were moving west from Indiana because she wanted to be by her daughter.
Sure.
So that's why we came to Las Vegas.
Oh, that's great. I know there must be different types of RVs. What are they?
There's so many. I mean, there's, for example, you have your tent campers, you have your trailers, you have fifth wheels, you have the truck campers, you have the Class A's. They look like a bus. So there's there's so many different types. There's a lot of different types.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what got you interested in RVing?
Well, like a lot of people that camp, I started camping when I was 8 years old, and then
just a young guy.
Yeah, very young. And I'm not going to tell you how long ago because I'm an old guy, but it was a long time ago. And then I met Becky and I married her, and we've been married 57 years.
Oh, congratulations.
She's been a real blessing to me. And
nice.
She had never been camping,
Oh,
ever in her entire life.
surprise.
She grew up in a small little community of Hemlock, Indiana.
Oh.
But the camping part of it never left me, and so we started out with where a lot of people do.
Yeah.
With the tent camping, and then we gradually moved up to the trailer, and then the tent trailers, and then a trailer, and now we're into the fifth wheels.
It's a gradual progression.
Gradual, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. So how do you decide where to go and for how long?
Oh, well, hey, I'll tell you, here's how it works in our family. My wife is very vocal. We have discussions about this, and so we finally came to the conclusion that we would take turns. So,
that's fair.
So last year was my year. This year is Becky's year.
Oh.
So I'm in the process of saluting and saying, "Okay, dear, you make the plans, and I'll salute along the way." So she's telling us where we're going to go.
Awesome. That's really cool. So when you're on the road, what about your mail? Are you gone for long periods of time?
Well, we're gone usually between, I'd say, 2 to 3 months. So we would be classified as part-time campers, not full-time. And the mail is an issue.
Yeah, it would be for that
and they have
time.
several different ways that you can do your mail.
Oh, they do?
So you go through the U.S. Post Office. You can go through a mail service. The ideal situation is just find a good neighbor. If you've got a neighbor, and we do, we're blessed. We have an awesome neighbor that picks up her mail, and she looks at the mail, and if we have anything that's very important, she phones us, and she mails it to us.
Oh,
so
that's really nice.
Oh, she's awesome.
Oh.
So if you have a good neighbor,
have to worry.
that helps. If not, you have to go to a mail service.
Sure. So you must have some great stories. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I can go back to the first time poor Becky went camping. I'm telling you, I know that's not RVing, but it's camping. And we went to this place. I'll try to make it very fast because I know we're limited on time. But we went to this state park. It's called Raccoon State Park.
Oh, okay.
Now you have to remember, Becky grew up in this little tiny community of about 300 people in Indiana, and she didn't have any idea what camping was about at all.
Oh.
So here we are with my daughter at the time, very young, and packing up the tent, and at that time the Coleman stove and the light and everything else you take with you to go, utensils, everything, food, you know how it is, and you're loading everything up. So anyway, the short version is we got over to Raccoon State Park, and I'm thinking to myself, do I have a camper or not? Is this woman going to love to go? because to me camping was important, or RVing was important, but maybe not to her. So I'm thinking I'm on pins and needles all the time.
Oh,
I'm
bet.
worried. I'm worried. Is she gonna like this? So we get over there and we get set up, put the tent up, etc. Went to sleep that night. I heard this crunch, 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 which woke me up.
Oh.
And I looked outside, and we had our little styrofoam cooler out there. And guess what was out there?
Oh, my
They
gosh.
didn't name it Raccoon State Park. There were the raccoons out there
Were they?
eating the cooler, in the cooler,
Eating the
getting,
cooler.
getting in the food. I mean, it was a mess. It was terrible. Then I thought, well, okay, so we got up in the morning. It was very nice when we left. It was warm. It was cold. I mean, it was cold. Got up in the morning, you could see her breath.
Bad.
So here's poor Becky. I'm thinking, oh, this is not a good start. This is not good.
Not good.
Not good. So the next night, of course, what do we have? We have a storm like you would not believe.
Oh,
It rained, it poured,
no.
the tent was going like this. I was out in the rain and everything, putting this, and then, so anyway, the short version is, we're on the road, got everything all loaded up and everything. And I remember looking over her and I'm saying, well, honey, what'd you think about this trip? Or what'd you think about camping? And she looks at me and she says, oh, well, it wasn't too bad. I knew right there. I had me a camper.
Oh,
I had me a camper
lucky
right
guy.
there. I had me a camper. So as you know, I told you, we graduated up and up and up and up. And now we're out of the tent camping because you get old and you want more comforts.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure. Yeah. Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Is that long-winded enough?
Well, that was fun. That was an interesting story. So do you have one of those special sites that you keep going back to? Campsites?
Yeah, the place that we love the most that's close to us that we can't seem to get into anymore is Zion National Park.
You can't.
And I'm telling you, it's booked up so much now. And if you read in the paper and you've noticed, if you've been online to see, like Grand Canyon, Yellowstone, Zion is right in there now. They're like 4th or 5th list on the list now as the most popular place to go.
Such a beautiful place.
I'm telling you, it is just incredible.
We just went hiking for one day up there,
it's
and
so beautiful.
fell in love with it.
Didn't you love the trails?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Oh,
Everything about it.
yeah.
It's just breathtaking.
Yeah, and if you like to walk or hike, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a camera, you just take your camera out and you take picture after picture
I did.
after
That's
picture.
what I had. My cell phone. I was taking picture after picture.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So as far as a favorite place, probably the place that impresses us the most would be Yellowstone. Yellowstone is such a neat place, and we've been up there, and we've RV'd up there a couple times and stayed up there at the park, National Park. It's a beautiful site also.
Okay, so if there's people out here that want to get involved in RVing, how do they go about it?
Well, okay, let me start by saying that for retirees, retirees especially, oh my goodness, this country is so beautiful.
Oh,
And there's so many places to go, and so, if they're thinking about RVing, really do some investigating and check into it and see if they like to do that. And then if they want to go RVing, you almost need someone that's been RVing to give them advice.
Oh,
You don't want to go.
Really helpful.
You don't want to go right to a dealer and look at an RV and buy it.
Right.
It's
That could be a big
it's one of those
mistake.
things where it's a lifestyle choice,
Yeah.
and you want to think about how you're going to use the RV and where you're going to go. Are you going to take the grandkids with you? All kinds of different questions.
Sure.
Because there's big difference, as you know, between the trailer and the Class A's and the fifth wheels, and so on. So I don't want to make it sound like it's intimidating. I'm just saying
No.
that you need to talk to someone that's been RVing that can kind of help you out in making choices.
Yeah.
Because if you go to the lot, they're there to help you, but then they're also there to make a sale.
Sure.
But you want to buy what's best for you and your family.
Right. So doing a little research
Do a little
beforehand.
research before you go and figure out, you know, how you're going to use it, and so on. Because you can spend very little money, or you can spend a tremendous lot of money.
I bet.
You know, so it is a lifestyle choice.
Would you suggest to rent a trailer before buying one?
I think in certain cases, yes. I would say in certain cases I would rent first. Keep in mind that the rental rates are pretty high. They can be pretty expensive depending on what you rent. So, it all depends on how long you're going to be gone. Because the longer you rent it, of course, the more you're going to pay out of your pocket.
Oh, yeah.
And just remember, all those dollars you're spending on that rental could be applied to the purchase. So that is a good choice in some cases. Here again, you really need to counsel someone and sit down with them and try to figure out what would be best for them.
So for you viewers out there that might want to check out the website, Go RVing, or take a little trip down to the camping world, just south of the M, and check out some of their rigs. So, Jim, when do you head out of here next, and where are you going?
Well, Becky tells me that we're going to the Midwest. And so we're going to be, I think, I'm listening to her, and she's going to tell me when we're going to leave, but I think we're leaving the first week in June.
Oh, boy.
So it's kind of open-ended. We know we're going to be gone for about 3 months, but we are retired for seniors. I mean, it's fantastic. You get on the road.
Got freedom.
There's freedom. I mean, who says you have to come back at a certain time?
Right.
But she has a schedule for about 3 months, but who knows?
Oh,
Maybe
that
about longer.
sounds like a great time.
Yes, it is. It is a
Really?
lot of fun. I
Really?
really look forward to it every single year. Do it every year. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's wonderful. Well, thanks, Jim. I need to check out those motorhomes myself. I really, really think that'd be a lot of fun. So, we'll be right back.
Thanks for watching Senior Living TV with Joan and Dr. Bader. Check us out on Facebook and YouTube.